You're welcome to the show. And of course, we have an amazing guest with us. I'm super excited because she's going to be telling us her story. How did she get here? How did she become, what she is? Let me let the cat out of the bag, because she's amazing. She's looking good. She's looking very beautiful, actually. So I'm just going to introduce her. Her name is Dr. Grace Ojeamiren. I hope I got that right. Bamigboye. She is a certified consultant, speech language pathologist, and of course she's registered with the Medical Rehabilitation Therapists Board of Nigeria, and she has had over 30 years experience working with children with special needs, with special interest in speech language disorder and bilingualism, that is the American Sign Language. And of course she currently runs an outfit that provides speech therapy, and she is the proprietress of Grace Shore Inclusive School and Theni. It's good to have you, Dr. Grace. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Blossom. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It's good. So I really want to know your story. And usually, of course, before you even start cracking, before you start talking, because I'm itching, like sometimes I wonder how people just dive into some amazing sector. I don't know, education, because this is educational sector.
Yeah,
partly
clinical.
Okay. Yeah, because of the pathology. Yes, of course. It's amazing how people tend to have diverse field and enjoy it and do it graciously. And when you hear the story, you'll be like, wow. Well, I love that. But anyways, before we get talking about your story and hearing the full gist of your story, let's quickly go for a tip. And this tip, of course, has absolutely nothing to do with what we have for today, but I just need to put that out. Let's go for tip of being security alert. You have to be conscious of where you are, who you're with, what you're doing, especially at night. A lot of people tend to work at night, so you have to be very careful. Even during the day, you hear about a lot of insecurity issues in the country. So this is just to help you secure yourself. So let's quickly go for this tip, and we'll be right back to continue the program with Dr. Grace. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Tips on being security alert. Be friendly with neighbors. Maintaining a positive relationship with your neighbors go a long way in ensuring a safe neighborhood. This breeds a lookout situation for every suburb and thus guarantee a watchful and vigilant locality. Number 2. Simple lifestyle. Living a simple and responsible lifestyle thoroughly drives off attention from criminals and hoodlums. Conducting activities moderately and avoiding glitz and glamour helps you make one less of a censurable and threat personality. Number 3. Be vigilant. Being alert and watchful is a wisdom element. Every individual has to be sharp-spirited and psyched up to happenings around them. Be observant, be perceptive, and report any unwholesome or unusual behavior immediately to the appropriate authorities. Number 4. Never give out information carelessly. This is rather normal for most Nigerians. Secret memos and data leak out of our lips either willingly, in pubs, even in an atmosphere of hysteria. Always ensure cogent information about you or members of your family are shared amongst those trustworthy. Never give vital information to a person unfamiliar to you. Number 5. Keep gadgets close at night. Over the years, it has become common knowledge that having gadgets like radios, phones loaded with airtime, and even the torchlight close to easy reach permanently helps us during danger times. SOS phone calls helps to save lives as well as other home appliances. Number 6. Ensure availability of home security equipment. For the home, security has never been a more talked about situation than now. Basic security appliances like lights, windows, doors, and gates should be available and secured at night time. Doors should be locked, curtains drawn, and gates closed. Number 7. Identify weaknesses. Every individual or corporate body should always note the weaknesses in their home, organization, and work hard to solve it. Weaknesses such as bad luck, a bad door, or even a faulty bulb could be an incentive for opportunistic theft and thus attract burglars. Number 8. Avoid late night outings. Taking the security situation of the country into consideration, it is wise for individuals to keep off late night activities. Depravity, evil doings, and insidiousness mostly typify and peg nightlife in Nigeria. Number 9. Maintain a conscious mind. Nowadays, in Nigeria, every home is a potential target, but the more we maintain a sense of consciousness, neighborliness, and community togetherness, security and defense would sooner than later become a problem of the past. Number 10. Examine visitors. Ensure to always check and vet external bodies that visit your homes. Some are hoodlums who act in uniform as NPF or PHCN staff. Always scrutinize such individuals and visitors and keep them at a distance.
Right, welcome back. You're still watching Women's Corner, and that is how to be security alert and keep yourself safe. And the first thing I noticed in that tip, the first tip, was be friendly with your neighbors. All of you that come out of your house and your head is up, your eyes are up, you don't want to greet nobody, and you be like, why must I greet them? See, I don't know, a lot of people have been saved. Maybe your house is burning, something is happening to your kids. Because you have neighbors who are friendly or you're friendly with, somehow they tend to help you and save the whole day or save you a year. So you have to make sure that you're friendly. Even at your office, be friendly, so that sometimes some things could be going wrong and they could just inform you, so you could, beforehand save yourself. But anyways, let's go back to what we have for today. So we're about to hear Dr. Grace's success story. So let me ask you, how did you become a speech pathologist? I don't know.
By providence.
Oh,
Let me
really?
put it like that. Yes. If God wants to use you, God will use you. And God will come to you in diverse ways. So I'll say I'm lucky for God to choose me for this profession. You know, it's a long story, but I'll try and summarize it.
Yes, please do.
It's way back, when you're in secondary school, you have a passion to always be in those professions that are, lawyer, doctor, those professions, So for me, I love to be a doctor then, a medical professional. That was what I wanted to do, So but I have this step brother. Theophilus Ojeamiren, I must mention him. Usually I don't mention his name. You know, he's the top person in the police force now. You know, we're like five and 6. He's just 4 months older than me, and we were living together. So we were always doing things together. We go to school together. He's just 4 months older, so we're in the same class. You know, he is October and I am February. You know, so we're always together. You know, so both school together, rascality together, you know, mess things up together. You know, he's breaking one arm today, I'm breaking the second arm today. Both of us are in the hospital at the same time, and the doctors are just like, why will both of you always be in the hospital?
At the same time?
Why? You know, if you come here today, we're going to cut off those legs. You know, I mean, I can remember all of that. You know, so we're always together. Then he got into the college before me, and that wasn't going down well with him, you know. So he has a roommate, and that roommate was in the Department of Special Education. You know, so he did philosophy, political science. You know, so the friend told him they would do orientation for his set. You know, so when you get into the college, you want to work with children with special needs, they make it a point of duty to take the students out to have first-hand, you know, visits to schools with children with special needs, so that they know what they are going to. I know it. They really want to make their mind up from the one. So that's what happened. So here he had his roommate going for excursion, and he just decided to follow him. And you know, he could, because 100 level, no one knows who is who. So it's orientation. So it's not paid for. So he just joined the bus. And on getting there, he saw the student. He just came to him that, oh, Grace. They call me Amy. Ojeamiren. My name is Ojeamiren, my darling. I'm a little girl. So he said, Amy, we like this. And that was how he called home. So then, yes, there's landline. We have a landline. So he called home and said, don't put in medicine. Do special education. And I also want to be where he is. You know, then so, and then why did he do that? That is the question. Why would he do that? So while growing up, I grew up in a very big family, a big house, uncles, aunties. So I'm one person. There's a lady with a mental illness on the road. We call her Osi Kakayo then. So he loves singing. And the song is Osi Kakayo Geramo. And I love dancing. I love dancing. So I would go and dance to that music. Can you imagine? And my mother would be like, and I would give the lady food.
Something.
You know, give the lady food. So I'm always waiting for her to pass by. I was always waiting for Osi Kakayo to pass by. And the day she's not, everyone in the house will know, because I'll be asking, Osi Kakayo did not come. Why? Let's go to Osi Kakayo. You know, I will be on everybody's case, like, until I sleep. And the next morning, I'm waking up waiting for Osi Kakayo. So I have that repetitive tendency to always want that song and that, you know. And I also have fascination for giving, forgiving. So, and I always look out for the less privileged people. As a very young child, without anybody facilitating it, just that. Yourself. It might be the music that was the attraction, because I love music. So I'm sure that was why he said she will be good with this. She likes to help. That was all.
And that was how you registered?
That was all. That was why I joined. I wrote special education as my preferred course of study, and boom, I was taken. And I ended up being the best graduating student all through. First degree, master's. It was the best thing that happened to me. Where I am today is because I studied special education at the very, very first level. And then I went on to do masters in audiology, speech pathology, and then PhD in speech pathology.
Wow.
So I also did my clinicals in Lutz, you know, and then here I am today.
Oh,
That's my
amazing.
story.
This is a beautiful story. This is actually very beautiful. I could see the joy of you sharing this story even right from childhood.
Yeah, because
and that's
the best
beautiful.
thing that happened to me, I've been to God knows so many places.
And you know the amazing thing is the fact that your parents are very supportive, because some parents would not even want to support you know, each other. They'll be like, why are you always giving out? Why you? What do you have? You understand? But they were supportive, and
have
that's
a
very
beautiful
beautiful.
family. They don't push for anything. You do what you want to do, but make sure what you want to do does not affect another person negatively. What you want to do must impact on people. I grew up like that. If you cannot help, do not compound that person's situation. So I grew up in that kind of family where we're very supportive, we're close-knitted. Like I told you, Theophilus was my stepbrother, but nobody knew.
Nobody will know, because you guys act more like brothers or probably twins.
Twins. They call us twins. Even in school, they call us twins. We're always together.
That's
and today,
amazing.
people watching from my college, Theophilus was my stepbrother and not my
It's excitement for me, honestly. It's the way you're so excited about Theophilus. Well, Theophilus is super proud of you, and certain of that one that you've come this way. Okay, so first now, let's talk about the speech thing. What really is what the entitlement of it all? What exactly do you do?
Okay,
yes.
So starts with assessment.
Okay.
And that assessment will always be, as a result, a referral. So someone will refer, tell a parent, a teacher, maybe a pediatrician, a psychologist, a neurologist. I mean, my child is not talking. They go see a doctor, and doctor will say, go see this person. Or the child is in school, the teacher noticed some differences in the child's learning, and then you say, go see Grace. That's where it starts from. So when they call me, I send out my pre-evaluation form and some questions. Does your child do this? Can your child do this? Because this thing is developmental. So that parents are not just worried for nothing, you know. So I ask them some questions before coming over. So the questions I ask them, if they give some yeses or some no's, that will give me an idea of how to ask them to come over. So when they come over, I do an assessment. The assessment is a developmental assessment. There are developmental tools. There are language skills, language tools, behavioral checklists that you can use to assess the child. So you get a raw score. The raw score will give you an idea to the extent where the child is deviating from the norms expected for that age range. So it starts with an assessment. So that assessment we check for receptive language, expressive language, the aspect of behaviors, attention, listening, you know, whether the child maintains eye contact or not, or whether the child is able to stay on the topic of conversation, depending on the age of the child, or whether the child even responds to his name or her name. So you look out for all of those things put together. Will give you an idea of what the developmental delay is. So after establishing what the developmental delay is, I now plan out activities. So those activities are targets that I'm going to attend to developmentally. So the child might be 4 years old, but the child is at the developmental level of a 2-year-old language-wise. So you develop language at that level. And then gradually, you know, arrange and plan activities that will help the child try to cover. So the therapy will usually focus on the child's ability to interact with language, the child to think with language, and the child to learn with language. So that's so whatever activity you want to set out for the child should focus on child's ability to think. Because your thoughts will determine what you want to express. Okay, good. Then for the child to also interact, you want to talk to people, and for the child to also learn, you want to use the language you've learned to also learn schoolwork. So that's all about
This is a lot. This is deep. You know, I'm telling you, it's so deep. So let's go a bit further into it. Let me just even ask a question. I don't know if this has to do with speech language pathology, but there are some children that I've seen that they find it difficult, not that they don't know how to pronounce some words, but you find out that they don't say words clearly. They don't even speak clearly. And sometimes you see some typical African Nigerian parents, they will say it's because he always sucks his tongue, or he always sucking his fingers or something. So they feel like that has caused maybe a distortion in how the tongue should pronounce words.
Yeah.
So they can't really say the words the way it's supposed to be. So do you think that has to do with?
Of course, that's an articulation disorder. We term that an articulation disorder. Articulation disorder could be as a result of so many factors. It could be developmental as part of the language difficulty. It could be as a malfunction of the oral motor structure. Yes, for children that sucks for long, they could have unusually arched palates, and they could have like what you call open mouth posture, because they are not engaging their oral motor structure firmly enough to make the proper place of articulating the sound, because each sound can only be articulated in one way. For example, the only way to say "b" is when you place your two lips together, hold it firmly, "b." But if you have a child that probably has a developmental delay and or have some the muzzle is not firm or not toned enough, maybe because the child has had a particular way of overstretching the muzzle in whatever way, so you could have them not properly placing the together to form the, so if you ask them to say B, they say B, because they are not making the proper lip placement. So you could have that. You can also have some that have poor oral awareness. They don't even know how to coordinate the lip, teeth, tongue in such a way to pronounce the sound. So it could be poor awareness. It could also be some form of palsy, like some form of paralysis. So the muscles are not just firm enough. Trust me, most times we don't even know the cause. The cause is idiopathic. The cause is idiopathic. But you just know that you could change things around if you start to work with it can just be chewing. Some kids don't chew. So you mean
a child that doesn't chew can actually have a speech problem?
Some of them.
Oh, some of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't chew. By any reason, it might be sensory. It might be just difficulty with tolerating some meals in their mouth, or some texture, or some temperature. So some is even swallowing problems.
I want to agree with you, because it has to be some, because growing up as a child, I can remember they tell me that I don't chew rice. I always swallow it. So, but I speak perfectly well. And I don't even like swallow.
For everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
You need to do that assessment to know what is peculiar to your child. It's not one cap fits all. No. If you have a delay out there, please go to the right professional to have it checked out. If it's like a normal, because you actually have some language difficulty that is part of normal language development milestones, and it's not a delay depending on the age of the child. For example, echolalia. Some children will echo words after you, and they do it for a long time. You say, "Oh, how are you today, mommy? Did you say how are you today?" It's actually some form of because they want to hear you again. And then sometimes we joke about those things, and we say the child, we are sarcastic about it. Go and bring water. Mommy, did you say I should go and bring water? Some parents will say, no, go and bring your father's leg.
I think I've heard a lot about some parents
you say, can you help me put my phone on the table? The child will ask, Mommy, you say on the table. You say no, on my head. In our culture, we are kind of very touchy.
Wow. So you mean that is also a kind of
it's a thing. The children, they learn to listen. Their listening skills are not as sharp. As adults. So some adults feel they're asking you all over again. It's
it's
because they are just training their listening skill at that time. But we end up, being sarcastic about it instead of just telling the child. I know some parents have really affected their kids' self-esteem by that, because they don't know. It's a cultural thing, I think. Because no matter, abroad, you could ask, "Oh, daddy, are you dumb?" Because that's the way the child feels. And say, "No, this is what I mean." The father will say, "No, it's a question. Are you dumb, Dad?"
You dare not say that.
You want to die?
You're gone. 6 feet. You can't do that. You can't do that in Nigeria.
Culturally, it's not allowed. Even this eye contact that thing. You don't talk to an adult, you look straight into the adult's eye. You know, lack of eye contact is one of our assessment diagnosis factors.
Which is very important.
Which is very important. But in our culture, an adult is talking to you, and then you are looking the adult in the eye. That's how we go.
That's disrespect.
It's a disrespect.
It's a big disrespect,
So
trust me.
if you're practicing out there, upcoming therapists, know what is normal for your own culture. So
True.
that you're able to do
True,
that.
and funny enough, we had a woman at some point where she had to more like educate African counselors on how to counsel the African style. You studied outside the country, you understand counseling, and most of the curriculum we use for all this education is from, you know, outside, is being brought in.
Yeah.
They're like, why you're bringing all those in, make sure you study your African culture, know the African ways.
Correct.
And impute the counseling, the way to work for Africans.
Exactly.
Don't bring the Western world
and
say
then you
want
just
to
hook,
teach.
line, and sinker. You want to shove
Yeah.
it down people's throat.
It
It
won't
will
work.
be the wrong start.
Yeah, of
It will
course.
be the wrong
It won't
start.
work, trust
It
me,
won't
and I
work
really
at
like
all.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly go for a break, and of course we'll be right back. This time around, maybe ask a few questions, and she's going to give us some sign language, the American sign language. You're going to teach us some, because I want to learn, trust me, I want to learn. So maybe I could talk to my viewers who are probably just, you know, love to watch this program. But they do not, you know, understand. But anyways, we'll be right back. Let's quickly go for the next tip. And after this, we'll come back to continue the program with Dr. Grace. This time around, like I said, is going to be the American Sign Language. And just some few questions. Stay with us. We're going to be right back.
Tips for a speedy flu recovery. Resting and staying hydrated can help you get over the flu fast. Taking antivirals within 48 hours of symptom onset can also help you bounce back faster. The flu is a highly contagious respiratory infection caused by the influenza virus. Flu symptoms typically last about a week, but the most severe symptoms only occur for 2 to 3 days, though it might feel like an eternity. You might continue to experience fatigue, weakness, and cough for another week after you recover. Here are 12 tips to help you recover more quickly. Stay home. Your body needs time and energy to fight the flu virus, so your daily routine should be on the back burner. Staying home helps you recover and prevents the spread of the flu to other people in your community or workplace. The flu can be dangerous for older adults and small children, so you must avoid contact with others while you're contagious and disinfect surfaces and personal items regularly. Hydrate. One flu symptom is a high fever, which can lead to sweating. You might also be dealing with bouts of vomiting or diarrhea. Your body needs plenty of fluids to replace lost liquids and even more to fight off the infection. Water is best, but you can also drink herbal teas or tea with honey. This can soothe your symptoms while keeping you hydrated. Two things you should always avoid though are alcohol and caffeine, which can be dehydrating. Sleep as much as possible. Ease your breathing. It can be difficult to sleep with a stuffy nose and cough. Try these tips to breathe easier and have a better night's sleep. Use an extra pillow to prop up your head and ease sinus pressure. Sleep with a humidifier or vaporizer in the room. Take a hot bath or shower before bed. Eat healthy foods. Add moisture to the air. Dry air can exacerbate trusted source symptoms. A vaporizer or humidifier adds moisture to the air and can also help loosen congestion. Take OTC medications. Your local drugstore's cold and flu aisle is mostly packed with hundreds of options. Some medications treat specific symptoms, like nasal congestion, while others treat many flu symptoms simultaneously. Have a spoonful of honey to soothe a cough. Honey is a fairly common natural remedy for soothing a sore throat or cough. Mixing honey with tea is a great way to stay hydrated while treating flu symptoms. One thing to note is that you shouldn't give honey to children younger than a year old. Ask your doctor about antiviral drugs.
Antiviral drugs are only available by prescription. You must see a doctor first. These drugs prevent the virus from growing and replicating. They work best if taken within 48 hours of experiencing symptoms, so it's best to reach out as soon as you start noticing symptoms. Get a flu shot and stay positive.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Women's Corner, and of course we have our amazing guest sitting pretty, Dr. Grace. Okay, so before I start asking you to teach every one of us, even the viewers and my team, of course, how to do the, the sign language, I just want to ask another question. Well, you talked about children who probably do not pronounce words well, and I once spoke to a doctor about a parent who said maybe she made the mistake every time she growing up for the child. The child is about 3 years now. Whenever the child has to eat, you have to bring his tab and play all those rhymes, all those those rhymes, nursery rhymes they play in a tab. And while he's watching that, that's the only thing that can make that child eat. If you don't play that thing, trust me, no matter how, you can't force a child too much. If not, you want to break the bones of that child or probably break the mouth because it will eat it. I don't know how our African mothers did it then. The way they will bend a child upside down and they will just, they pour the pap into the mouth. But mothers now, they don't have that kind of mind to do that. Yeah. So they have to wait until the child is ready, pamper the child. So with this thing, they noticed that because of that, the child hardly communicates. He plays a lot, but when it talks about talking with the brothers or the siblings, it's quite difficult. Yeah, like he could use his face to make an expression, and we all know that. That's the face he's making. Like, don't do that again. He's making the face, but he's not telling you don't do that again. So you understand? So he finds it, not that he finds it difficult. He just feels like, why am I talking to you? I will just do my face, or I just use my hand, and you understand it. So now I want to ask, well, that kind of a child, how would you be able to, bring back that child to being able to at least communicate with the siblings? Okay, well, like I said earlier, there are so many things that one will need to consider for that type of child. So what the parent or what the mother is doing now is that he's trying to pair something the child likes and what the child does not like. And behavioral analysts will tell you conditioning. Okay, it's allowed. Okay. You condition a behavior by pairing something nice and something not nice. So that's something that is nice, helps cover up for what is not nice. So the child is not eating is the problem to solve. The child likes to watch something on the tab. So the thing is, if you watch this, then you have to eat this. If you don't eat it, then I will take this. Okay. I'm sure by the time the child notices that, mommy will allow me longer time on the tab if I eat this thing that I don't. Okay, that's one thing. 3 years that the child is not talking. So we don't use just one symptom to just round up that there is a problem. Okay, you need some other symptoms to be present here before you can say this is what it is. So maybe the mother should actually go out there and check it out with the doctor. Okay, all right, great. I hope she heard that. Anyway, so now let's go drum rolls. Let's go to the point, the point where we have to learn the sign language. So first, of course, the first word coming to my head is I love you. How could we say that? Okay, so I love you. Yeah, that's quite simple. Okay, I love you. Very simple. Or you just contract it. I love you. Okay. Yeah. This? Like, no, your two hands. This will go. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So, I love you. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yay. All right, so how about I'm hungry? Oh, I am hungry. So it's like the gauge is here and then you go down. Okay, because it's empty now. It's empty now. Okay. So I am hungry. Okay, I am hungry. Oh, nice. Yeah. That's easy. Well, not as easy as I thought anyway. Okay, how about let's try and make a conversation. Let's try Okay, you
So
lost me
I
there.
can actually interpret what you say to the people to watch.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, this is yes. How
Yeah,
about
that's
no?
it. No.
No. I feel like this is you talk too
I
much.
feel like you. Oh, you talk so much.
Oh, really? No, like, you know when people make this finger? When they
this
do
is
like this?
no, no.
Okay.
But I think this is.
Okay, talk to cha cha cha.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
all right.
But
okay.
this is no.
This is no.
It's like N-O, but contracted
Okay.
no.
Oh, wait, you just gave me an idea now. How about let's do A to Z?
I just interpreted what
Okay,
you said.
great. Yeah, I know.
I can do the same. I can talk and interpret and say what, or the sign language of what I am saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and you like, because I find it very amusing that you're talking and at the same time you're, you know, how? Okay, let's do A to Z.
Okay. So, A,
A,
B,
B,
C,
C,
D,
D,
E,
E,
F,
okay, F,
G,
G,
H,
H,
I,
I,
J,
J,
K,
K,
L,
L,
M, N,
uh-huh,
O, P,
ooh,
Q, R, S, T, U, V,
yeah,
W,
yeah,
X,
okay.
Y, and Z.
Oh, trust me, I still remember some of these things. While you're doing the videos, I was like, okay, I think I know this. I think I know this. All right, so how would you tell the people watching that? Thank you so much for watching, and you really love the show.
Okay, thank you very much for watching. Hope you really love the show.
Oh.
See you again next time. Bye.
Oh, amazing. Okay, at this point, I don't have to say anything. We'll just wrap up with that. She has done it, and I'm just going to say my thank you so much for watching. I'll bring her back again, definitely. This time around is to educate women. I know we have some persons who are into the sign language. It's very nice. Trust me, when you meet these people and you just do that sign, they are so excited. I don't know why, but I feel like it's like you are speaking their language and they will love it. So I'm going to bring out again where we're going to learn the sign language properly. Until then, have a beautiful day. I'll see you on the bars. So Sheye, please capture the two of us. So she will say I love you and enjoy yourself. Okay, enjoy your day. Yeah, in sign language. I love you, enjoy your day, bye for now.
Good. I love you. Enjoy your day. Bye for now.